Hello, everybody. This is Sam here, and I wanted to talk about buying versus renting equipment. And Ben and I were going through and thinking through different all the amount of money we've spent renting equipment. More specifically, one a specific piece of equipment, which is an excavator. For some reason, we seem to be using it on almost every job, and we didn't want to buy one. But I wanted to talk about buying versus renting, and this was kind of an eye-opener for me on this subject. Is we were like, well, we didn't want to buy because we didn't want to acquire more debt, all right? And that's all cool and everything, and why I believe being debt-free is awesome, amazing, but to be more realistic, all right, a payment on equipment, this machine that we would maybe buy, this excavator that I have in mind, it's about $500 a month. That's like on a 60 month period. It's about $500 a month. Now renting it for a month, we're spending about $2,000, and we rented it for one solid month, and then we rented it for several jobs, and each day you rent it, it's $250. So basically 2 days out of a month that you use that machine pays for a monthly payment. So basically, if you look at it this way, buying it on a term like 60 months is way cheaper on your overhead. Way cheaper. If you're using it, all you need to do is use it twice a month and it pays for itself. That's it. And not only is it cheap to use, but it is also, you're buying the machine, you're making payments toward paying it off, So I still don't think you should always go out and buy, but looking through this year, we've spent on that piece of equipment almost $6,000 renting. That's $6,000. That's a lot of money. The machine itself is worth about $26,000. It's a small mini excavator. So that could have been $6,000 paid off on that machine. And the reason why we wouldn't buy it was we were like, well, what if we don't need it next month? Then we have that overhead. We were trying to keep our overhead low because we'd already made the mistake of having a very high overhead. Like right now we're standing at a pretty high overhead. There's a lot of things we're learning as we go through the business. And I think you want debt. I don't believe in 100% debt free. You just want to be very careful about what kind of debt you take. Because like right now we have a truck that we're making payments on, as an example, and the truck is currently not working, and it's just parked, and it's been parked for about 3 months, so it's been a long time, and it's just been that type of thing where we don't really need the truck and don't really have the money to fix it. So we have other trucks and we're kind of good, but we didn't want to sell it because we wanted to eventually fix it, eventually use it. But it's debt, it's payments we're making that's not giving us a return. We're not getting a return on that investment, on that payment. Another example is our mower. We don't do hardly any mowing. We mow like 4 or 5 yards, literally 4 or 5 yards. That's it. And we make a mower payment, and our mower payment is pretty high. But besides that, still, we're making this payment on this piece of equipment that literally only brings in a fraction of what we pay to that. That's bad debt. That's what I look at is bad debt. Versus on the other flip side, we have debt on our trailer, and that's amazing debt. We use that trailer almost every day. It's just crazy. It is paid for itself multiple times over and over. And if we had to rent one of those for every job, that'd be crazy. So you want debt. You just want to be careful what kind of debt you're getting. You want to really analyze. Are you going to be using the machine? How much are you going to use this machine? If you're going to use it, quite often, then get it. You know, buy it. Don't be renting it. You're just throwing money down the drain. Renting can be very expensive. This year we spent a lot of money on rent. A lot of money. A rule of thumb that I heard from someone else, and I think he's actually pretty dead on. I didn't really believe it at first. Is if you rent the piece of equipment for a solid month, then if you need the equipment for a solid month, you know, and by that I mean, like, we rented the machine for a solid month. Now, we didn't use it every single day of the month, but we needed it often enough that it justified let's just get it for a solid month. So we did that. But what this guy advised is if you need it if you're going to rent the machine for a solid month, don't rent it, just go buy it. Go buy it, because you're paying, you know, that $2,000 that we're paying on it, you know, that's a down payment on the machine. And it is. So just be careful. You know, I recommended another video renting equipment, and I still do. We rent a lot of equipment, but be careful. Don't just rent the same piece of equipment. We've made that mistake and regret it. Because this year, to give you an example, and I think it's more than that, but I'm trying to be conservative. It's about $6,000 or $7,000 is what we spent on rent on the excavator. If we had bought that like in a 60 payments, we would have spent less than that. We would have spent, I'll just do the numbers. It'd be 6,000. We would have spent 6,000 for the entire year is what we spent. Exactly. And that would have added, you know, we're talking, the year's not over. We're still going to rent it. And we're talking, if you own the machine, there is so many jobs we could use the machine for, but we didn't because, you know, we just didn't want to spend the money. We're like, you know, let's just do it by hand. And you'd be surprised when you own a machine, the things that you use it for that you didn't think would come in handy. It just does. And we saw that when we rented the machine for a month. Because it used to be we only use the excavator for trenching. But when we rent it for a month, we use that thing for pulling trees out, bushes, plants, rock, you name it, all kinds of stuff, landscape beds. It is a really nice piece of equipment. It does a lot of stuff. It even does a pretty good job at ground leveling. You can hew dirt around and everything. It works pretty good. But we use that machine a lot. And next year we're going to buy it. We're going to buy another machine this year. And I'm going to do another video on that. It's the Ditch Witch. I love that thing. Hands down. Love it to death. It's an amazing piece of equipment. And I would recommend it to anybody that's in the landscaping business. Hands down as your first piece of equipment besides a dump trailer would be to get the Ditch Witch. And hey, I hope this conversation maybe helps somebody. I feel like I'm just ranting on about stuff, but I kind of am. But maybe that would be of help to someone. I know when you're just starting out in a business, anything helps, because I've been there. Just anything helps. And if you like my videos, you know, like them, subscribe, just help. It helps encourage me and to make more videos and continue doing what I'm doing. And all right, that's it for now.